Success Insight shares the stories of the people with passion and drive who make things happen in the world. Here's your host, Howard Fox.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Success Insight podcast. Today's guest is Andrée Martin, your leadership mindset and golf performance coach. And hey, anytime Andrée Martin is on the Success Insight podcast, we know it's Mindset Monday. So we're really excited to hear what Andrée has in store for us. But first, just a reminder, Andrée is a LPGA Class A Life member, a nationally recognized top 50 golf teacher and expert, and a member of the Maine Golf Hall of Fame, recognizing golf's value as a business tool. In today's competitive marketplace, Andrée works with individuals, groups, corporate, and organizational clients to create educational and team-building programs that enhance the professional success of aspiring executives. Andrée Martin, welcome back to the Success Insight podcast.
Thanks, Howard. As always, it's fun to get together with you to talk about the differences between business and golf and the similarities and pull some concepts together.
I love it. And I love this Mindset Monday series that you and I have put together, because heaven knows I need to go find where in my storage unit my golf clubs are, because I feel bad as here I am with one of the nation's top golf instructors. She's a fellow coach, a good friend, and my golf clubs are in storage. That's not a good thing. So I'll take care of that. I will take care of that.
We need to get you some new equipment is what we need to do.
That's true. That goes without saying. So, well, listen, in this episode of Mindset Monday, what are we going to talk about today?
Well, as always, we want to keep going for the gold and not settle for silver. And how are we going to have better golf, better business is with round 2 of Think Box, Go Box.
You know, I love the Think Box, Go Box metaphor and how we have been using it over the now many Mindset Monday sessions. It's the external focus versus the internal focus. So how are we going to use it today?
Well, I wanted to take it a step deeper. I find that students hear it, but then they don't do it. I feel it's very important in this marketplace today that people find a routine in everything they do. Things are so crazy out there. Business routines have been thrown off. Family routines have been thrown off. Kids routines have been thrown off. And what helps us build repeatable success is with routine. And you do it despite those internal and external challenges that are thrown your way. And when you have a means and a way to organize it in a way that you can go check, 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 and then go for it, your success is assured in both business and in golf, because it's worked for both of us and our clients and our students, both in business and all levels of golf. I've seen it.
What are some examples that you have come across recently with your students in taking them into this Think Box, Go Box at a different or much more tactical level?
Sure. It's easy for people to do it off the tee with the driver. I've had a lot of success with that. And as people come back and say, look, I've just gone mental. I need your help. What I find is the more I get them to execute this, no matter what shot they have, including putting, their game, their scores just lower themselves on organically. Because what they're doing, for example, let's talk about those external factors that all need to come into play. If you're in the middle of the fairway, or if you're in a hazard or in the rough, there's all those uneven lies to consider. You've got how thick is the rough? Where am I going to enter the grass? How am I going to play it? How's the club going to get grabbed? Based on the distance, what club choice do I need to make? And then you're looking at the wind, the temperature, because believe it or not, heavy air and wet grasses can also affect your distances. So are you making the right choices of clubs? Are you taking enough? Your elevation, if it's an uphill lie, how big of an uphill lie is it that makes it a 1 club extra, 2 club extra, maybe even 3 club extra. And then you've got your distances on top of that. So then you got wind in your face, 3 club elevation, and it may be a 1, 2, or 3 club wind on top of it all. That's a big change. If you're 110 yards out needing a pitching wedge, for example, now all of a sudden you're having to hit a 6 iron? That's crazy. But then as we get closer to the green, maybe we don't need to add as much as we would much further out. So these are all key pieces that come into play that we need to think about. And then we can shift internally into, okay, I've practiced this, I've done this, I know how to do it. And how do you get a feel of, okay, where am I going to bottom out my club so I know where the ball position needs to be in my stance, and then I can execute it. And then I've got to actually, in the shot, zoom in my focus to a point where I've practiced this, I've played this. This is a different situation, but I've had something similar versus getting up there and saying, oh, geez, I hate this lie. I can't stand this shot. Where's your focus going? It's like the pink elephant. If I tell you don't think about a pink elephant, don't think about a pink elephant, what are you seeing? You can't help yourself, right? So I can't stand this shot. I suck at it every time. Well, yeah, it's like I don't want to go in the water. I better get a water ball. You're telling yourself to go in the water for crying out loud. So let's shift internally. We've taken in all these external factors. How are you going to get focused, laser focused on not just the shot at hand, but the target you're going to? A lot of people don't think about that landing bullseye when they're coming into the green. They're thinking about, I want to get it to the flag. Well, do you need to carry it all the way to the flag? Or how much roll are you going to get with that particular club, given the elevation of the green and the shot you have at hand? Where is that landing bullseye so that you give yourself a chance to put that ball in the hole? All these pieces come together to create that opportunity to nail it. But if you don't take those into consideration, you miss the ball.
So what I hear from you, Andrée, is really think box, go box is on the course with us every day from start to finish. Every place I stop and prepare to address the ball, I have a think box, go box in the moment.
Yes, you do. And in addition to that, I really am at a point where with a lot of my students, I'm shifting that word to think box, play box. Because people aren't playing. They're thinking so much because you got all these factors and they get frozen. Then when you get frozen, the only thing left is the smaller extremities, the hands, and they take over. And who knows where the ball's going to go when you do that. And so the whole preparation piece is so that you get your thinking out of the way behind the ball in that thinking space, taking the elements into consideration so that the minute you cross the line into that play space, you're ready to go. Just like the speaker preparing for that incredible key message speech. You're preparing, you've rehearsed, you've tweaked it, you've added to it, you've got your outline ready to go. And then, okay, you cross the line, the audience is psyched, you've been announced, you step on the stage and you just deliver it. That's playing. It's like game time, let's go. And how can you deliver that well and often every single time is by having that consistency every single time and taking in all those internal and external factors before you step on to the plate and strike.
And I can see that this metaphor, the think box, let's use play box, that even in the world of business, whether you are the leader, whether you are the mid-level manager, maybe you're the individual on the phone who has to sit and talk to disgruntled customers. All right. You all have a think box, go box. I mean, you're doing this work because whether it's something you love to do, want to do, maybe you need to do it. Maybe your family depends on you having this job. It may not be the best work that you're capable of or that you want to do, but it's paying the bills right now. But if you have that mental mindset of, I need to do this. This may not be perfect, but I need to make this, that when I get on the phone, I'm giving them, my customers, clients, my best self so that I'm at the top of my game.
Yes. It's lining everything up so you have that springboard for success and can catapult yourself forward in the best possible way each and every time. Whether you're in the boardroom, whether you're delivering at a conference, whether you're an executive online coaching clients, how do you set yourself up to be that best possible you each and every time?
Yeah. And so you have to, whether you're working with a coach, whether it's inside the company or out on the course with someone like yourself, is helping them create that mindset and create that vision of the metaphor of think box, play box. So I love it. It's probably the most powerful aspect that I think that I'm getting out of our recurring Mindset Monday episodes. So I appreciate that. I want to thank you.
Thanks, Howard. Oh, it's my pleasure. It's so key in everything we do. I know it's key even in relationships and families. You can carry this over and adapt it in many different ways and be successful.
Very much so.
And that's what it's all about.
Go for the gold. Do not settle for silver.
Let's go for the gold.
That's the other one I've learned. All right, Andrée, thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Mindset Monday. And we talked about Think Box, Play Box, even though we're going to call it Go Box on the notes round 2. But I think we need to start calling it what it is. Think Box, Play Box. And if our listeners would like to learn more about you and your work, where are the best places for them to go?
Best places to go would be my website, andreegolf.com. I have a LinkedIn presence, and I also am found on Andrée Martin 31 Facebook and Andrée Martin Golf on YouTube.
Fantastic. And we will most certainly put the links back to the website, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube on our show notes so folks can visit you and learn more about you and your work. So thank you again. It's been a pleasure.
Likewise, Howard.
All right, folks, we have just been chatting with Andrée Martin, our leadership mindset and golf performance coach. Today's episode of Mindset Monday was Think Box, Go Box, round 2. And if you enjoyed today's episode and you would like to learn more, we'd love to, have you reach out and get in touch with us. And you can do that on the Success Insight Podcast webpage. Just put your name and email address and a comment, and we'll be sure to get back to you. Also, we'd love your comments on today's episode. At the bottom of the show notes, there's a place where you can add your comments. You can also visit us on our Facebook and LinkedIn pages, Success Insight Podcast, as well as on our YouTube page, Success Insight Podcast as well. Lots of places for you to listen to these wonderful episodes of Mindset Monday with Andrée. And I am remiss, I even forgot, my God, the major podcast listening platforms, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. My God, we are everywhere. So lots of opportunities for you to listen to this series that we have been producing with Andrée. And so, folks, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, go out there, have a phenomenal day. Take care of yourself, your family, your loved ones, your friends. Wear your mask and practice social distancing. And we will see you on the next episode of the Success Insight Podcast. Take care now.
Success Insight is a production of Fox Coaching and First Story Strategies. Find us online, successinsightpodcast.com.